Chris here from BarnYard Outdoors. It's morning time at the campsite, and you know what that means? It's time for some coffee. And I'm going to make my coffee this morning in this. This is the Stanley Percolator. This is the latest version of this Percolator, and talk to you about the Percolator. And what can I say? It's a Stanley, and it percolates, and it works really good. Let's go ahead and get this loaded up with water and get it on the stove, and I can tell you some of the other features with this. So I do love percolating coffee. Usually I'm out here with my Coletti, and I have a bunch of Percolator filters for the Coletti. They're little round things like this. They are a little bit too big for the Stanley, but you can just kind of push it in there and make it work, right? The Percolator, I believe this is a 6-cup, and it's actually kind of nice. I know it's probably impossible for you to see here. It's a 6-cup, and there are min and max lines in there, and I have this fancy Dometic water jug, which makes it real easy to fill this. So while that is filling, I can go ahead and get my filter basket ready. And I'm just using a Tokes long-handled spoon. I don't have my fancy coffee measuring spoon. But what I do is about 6 to 8 scoops. I'm going to go ahead and make the maximum amount of coffee I can in this percolator. Auto shut off on the Dometic pump. That was one of those things that I thought was the most ridiculous thing ever when I saw it, and then I ended up in a situation where I could get it, and I loved the thing. Alright, so I've got this loaded up with coffee. One thing I usually do is shake it a little bit, let any the dust and stuff to get out of there, and then assemble the percolator. And that's ready for the stove. So you're going to see several videos of me out on this camp out, and you'll know that I'm using a Nature Hike 2-burner stove, testing it out. I've been pretty impressed with it so far. Haven't been in a lot of situations where I needed both burners, but it is nice to have them. So one thing I really like about this Stanley Percolator, and I have the previous version of this as well, and it had a kind of a different handle, but it had the same feature. This little silicone sleeve, this can slide right off, right? I'll set this to the side, and that allows you to put this on a fire if you want. I'll put it on the stove. Not that there's a lot of flame that comes around where I'm too concerned about the handle to get hot, but it's nice just to know that I'm not worried about melting this thing. And once I am done percolating the coffee, I can slide this back on and easily pour myself a cup. And speaking of the previous model, the other feature I like of this, I don't know if you call it a feature, but this has got a wider base. The previous model actually tapered in kind of like the old Stanley cups, and although that worked, it was tall and very tipsy, and I had the thing fall over a couple times sitting on the fire grate making coffee, which makes for a really sad morning when you lose a pot of coffee. So I like that as well. The other thing that I wish it had, I wish this was a glass knob. It is a plastic knob, and I wish there was some kind of little thumb piece you could hold down to secure the lid. Without it, you can just hold the plastic knob. It then becomes a two-handed affair instead of just a one-handed, and the Coletti percolators that I love have, of course, a place where you can kind of secure the lid. rapidly boil and make a mess. Alright, coffee's done. This cool handle, I can just slide this over. Sometimes you got to give it just a little bit of a little help to get that on. And I don't have to worry about how hot the handle is, and that is awesome. Check it out. BarnYard Outdoors coffee mug. Nice. I'll put a link down below, something I'm just playing around with. But if you'd like one of these cups, you too can own a BarnYard Outdoors coffee mug. Look at that coffee. Nothing better than coffee at the campsite. So I'm curious, when I do percolated coffee, I usually, once it starts perking and I've got the clear water coming up in the little perk top, I usually let it go for about 7 minutes, and I find that that's about the strength I like. It makes a really good cup of coffee. But I'm curious, what do you do when you percolate coffee? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? I don't know. It's all guesswork a lot of times for this. It's what works for you, I guess. So, but leave that in the comments. I'm interested to hearing how long you perk your coffee for, or how you use your percolator. Let's try out this coffee. It's hot. It's too hot. Oh, that's some good coffee. That's good coffee. That's a damn fine looking mug too. If you have any questions about the Stanley Percolator, leave it in the comments below, along with how you percolate coffee, what your kind of special tips and tricks would be. I always like hearing that type of stuff from people who watch my videos. If you like this type of video, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe to my channel so you can see more awesome things I'm doing out while camping. Thanks everybody for watching.